Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I'm your host Sandman. Today I have an unboxing from Jimy Longs. Let's get into it. So, man, I want to do this review. I can't do the review. I want to do this unboxing. I'm scared to do the unboxing. There's so much stuff to talk about with Jimy Longs, and I'm going to do my best to dance around that topic today. I'm sure we'll get pretty far with it, actually. We'll not hold back. So here's the deal. Jimy, I don't even know where to start. Let's just do the unboxing first. Let's do the unboxing, and then we'll go from there. And I'm already failing at the unboxing. How does this open? What are you doing? What origami nonsense is this? Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm failing at this thing. So Jimy Longs has been in business for like 2 years now, I think. And Jimy is a gentleman based out of America, Utah specifically, and he has his own. Oh, I'm cutting towards my thumb here. This is so dangerous. Jimy is a manufacturer in North America, based out of Utah, and he makes these pick sets out of his garage. Okay, he's a one-man operation. Essentially, that's what it is. One-man operation. And hold on, I gotta adjust my camera here. And he makes a really good lock picks. They're really fun. They're highly loved and favored by the locksport community because they're very comfortable. They have a very strong tool steel. He has a close connection with the community at large, and he has been a part of locksport for probably 15 years. He learned how to pick locks when he was a kid, you know, and now he's a man, you know, like it's kind of like Batman, you know, I once was a boy, now I'm a bat. So, but anyways, he's a very loved, beloved member of the community. He's a great addition to the member of the community. He's always sold out. He's always sold out. Why is he always sold out? Well, he's always not in stock. And that's because the second he goes in stock, he sells out within an hour to 3 hours. So that's where we're at. We're going to talk more about that. Let's finish doing the unboxing. So there was a little bit of a fiasco that happened recently. And the fiasco was Jimy put out 15 thou lock picks. So he put out this set of 15 thousandths lock picks. And so these 15 thou lock picks were highly anticipated. I've been waiting for these for a year. He came out a year ago with what is called version 3. I never had version 1. I never had version 2. To my understanding, version 1 had some steel problems, so they were like breaking. Version 2 was, I don't know why he didn't stick with version 2, but version 3 was a very good success, at least among collectors and high-level lock pickers. So version 3 were these black handles, these injection molded fiberglass handles, and then, or something like that. And then these are glass embedded or something like that. I don't remember. And then he has like the etching on the sides with the 19 thousandths medium flat hook. So he came out with 4 different flats and 4 different rounds in 19 thousandths and 23 thousandths. That was super successful. Then for St. Con reached out to him, which is a security convention, and they said, hey, we need you. Oh, he also had diamonds and gym hooks. So this is a diamond and a gym hook right there. So St. Con reached out to him and said, Jimy, we need you to come up with 100 lockpick sets to sell at our St. Con. And he's like, oh, dang, I don't know if I could do that, but I'll try. So for like a couple months, he was just preparing for that. And so he came out with these St. Con sets. So this was actually a prototype of his beginner lockpick set, but this one's unique to me because he made a special gym hook just for me with the St. Con logo. Thank you, Jimy, for that. I appreciate you. I love you. So that was the prototype of his lockpick, that lockpick set. And in that prototype, he had to throw in some turning tools. So he made these top of keyway turning tools here for the prototype beginner pick set, because you can't sell a pick set without turning tools. And that's when the wheels started turning for Jimy. That's when he started to realize, oh, maybe his business model wasn't where it needed to be. He was making lock picks, but he wasn't making turning tools, and he was selling lock picks that catered to the top 1% of lock sporters and not the 90% that is everybody else. So that's when he came up with the idea. I came up with the idea of producing a beginner lockpick set, and he came out with the beginner pick set, and which I don't. Okay, yeah. So he came out with the basics set right here and the intermediate set right here, and so basic, intermediate. So, anyways, these all have their own turning tools. So the basics would have the 3 double-ended turning tools here, and then the intermediate set would have these more pry bar looking ones here that are really great for more intermediate to advanced style of picking, like float picking. And so I think that was a really good idea on his part to do that. And each one had, 3 different hooks and a rake, if I remember correctly. And yeah, or the basics had 2 hooks and a rake, and then the advanced or intermediate, had 3 hooks and a rake. Anyways, 4 hooks. I don't know what's going on. I don't know anymore about life. 4 hooks and a rake. And this one had 2 hooks and a rake. In fact, I have it right here. Let's just pull it out. So this is the basics set. These are the 3 turning tools right there. These are the 3 tools in the Jimy Longs basic set. So we have a rounded hook, we have a flat hook, and then we have a rake, which is a good set. It's a decent set. And it was a good price. It was $20. I think he did well on that set. He sent it to me like 2 months ago for review, and I said, how about we wait until these come back in stock? There's no point in reviewing something if it's not in stock. And he's like, yeah, it's a good idea. And I thought it was a good idea too. They never went back into stock. So he has stocking issues. And then a month later, we have the intermediate set, and the intermediate set is a bang up set. It's an extension of the beginner set with just two more hooks and then another rake. And that was a really good set. In fact, I put both of those sets in here and I'm collecting. So this is the entire basics and intermediate pick sets inside of what will eventually be a Jimy Long tool roll. So this is actually a prototype, if you will, not a prototype, but this is the version 1 of his tool set roll or tool case. And what you're going to get in the future is it's going to have a pocket over here that's going to hold your turning tools. And this flap is actually going to come completely up. And I don't think there's going to be elastic here, even though that's my favorite part of this case. So this is the beginner and the intermediate pick set. Okay, where are you going with this, Sandman? Well, we finally have the 15 thousandths shorts and rounds to support the 19 and the 23 thousandths shorts and rounds, flats and rounds. This whole video has been terrible. It's an unboxing. You get what you pay for. So there was a fiasco though. Sandman, why do you have 6, you greedy bastard? I have 2 sets of rounds because they're 15 thou. You're going to bend a 15 thousandths hook. If you bought just one of these sets and you thought that you were going to be okay with it, you messed up. You need 2 sets. You need 1 set to use and 1 set to have as a backup because they come in sets. He doesn't sell them individually. This is just me being an experienced buyer. That's 1. 2, I knew he would sell out. So if I bend one and I want to review it later on, I can't review a bent tool. Nothing looks more unprofessional than damaged tools in a tool review. So as a reviewer, I purchased 2 sets for myself. He offered to send me a set for free for review, and I said, no, keep the set. I will buy it with my money to be fair to everybody else. So 2 sets of rounds, and then I purchased a set of rounds for my friend. That's going here. Then I bought 2 sets of flats for myself, and then a set of flats for my friend right here. I had 2 people on social media call me a scumbag for purchasing 3 sets of each, when the quantity limit is set to 4. I could have bought as many as 4 sets of each because that's what he has his website set to. But I decided, no, I'm just going to buy 2 for me and 1 for my friend because my friend couldn't get to his computer. He was at work. And he's like, hey, man, can you pick me up a set? I said, no problem. I purchased it. The tools sold out inside of an hour. Jimy had 80 sets of each. That's a total of 160 sets. I purchased 2 of each. So I only pulled 6 of the 160 that he had available. I'm less than 1%, okay? Or whatever the math is. So all I can say is I didn't break Jimy's website. I'm not the guy that bought him completely out. I'm not that guy. But whoever called me a scumbag on the interwebs, those guys, I understand. I appreciate your frustration. I get it. The whole community is frustrated. Nobody knows what's going on. Everybody's frustrated. I will explain to you what's going on. Jimy works for himself. Jimy works by himself. Jimy has everything in his garage, and the garage space is shared with his wife's vehicle. God bless her. And Jimy is a wonderful guy. I like the guy. He's a very nice guy. He has a full-time day job. This is something he does as a hobby. He tries to commit about 3 hours every evening or more, sometimes 5 every evening to make these tools. And I think it takes him about 20 hours worth of work just to produce 100 pick sets. And then he puts them out for availability once every couple weeks or once a month, and then they sell out within an hour. It just is what it is. He is a manufacturer because he has $100,000 worth of investment of manufacturing, tooling in his garage, but it's a small business venture that he's going into. So what is the draw to the tools, and what does the future hold? The draw is they're fun tools to use. They're great tools. They have a great injection molded handle here. They have great tool steel. They have great designs with a lot of input from people from the community. There's no complaints from design. There's no complaints from quality control, at least not anymore. There may have been in the first year or two, but now that he's in like year 2, year 3, we're on version 4 now. So version 3 was what I had come out 2023, summer 2023. Now the basics and the intermediate pick set are version 4. I think there's a potential here. The problem is he's just a one-man operation. He is moving forward into mass producing these. He has found outsourcing for particular processes. So he found someone to help him make the handles, and he found someone to help him make the tooling, or the pick shanks and the profiles. And so he's going to be doing more of the research and development on his end, and then he'll work with a mass producer to be able to meet the supply and demand that is the market today. Sandman is not the culprit. Sandman is not the reason for any of this stuff, regardless of what the 2 people out of the nearly 4,000 people that follow me have to say. The trolls are strong with this one, my friends. So that's where we're at. I like Jimy Longs tools. I think they're great. I never recommend them because they're always out of stock. I can't recommend something that's not in stock. I've only done 1 review on them. I did my very first review ever was June 26th, which is my birthday, 2023, last year. The very first video I ever did on my birthday was of Jimy Longs tools because I thought they were great. I never did a review ever since because they've been sold out ever since then. So they've been essentially sold out for years. So that's what's going on with them. Jimmy's not a bad guy. He's a wonderful guy. He gets hate mail all the time from people saying, I don't understand. Everything's always sold out. Is this company still in business? It's not really a company. It's a guy with a production quality, mass production quality facility in his garage, but he works by himself making these tools. I would love for us all to be appreciative of somebody that's doing that for us. I'm appreciative. Thank you, Jimy. Thank you for everything that you're doing. But that's the explanation. That's what's going on with Jimy Longs tools. I think that covers everything that I needed to cover. Let's just geek out and look at some of these tools. So these are for my friend. I'm going to put these aside. I have a set of the basics, and then I have another intermediate set somewhere else that I can't find. This is empty, but those are for review only. And then, then I have my user tools here, and then I'm trying to build a pick case right here because then I can have this someday for future reviews and be like, I have the Jimy Longs right here, So it's just, man, it is what it is. I thought I could be proud and brag to my best friends that I was able to purchase 3 sets, 2 for me and 1 for my very good friend. And then somebody was like cursing me out online for it. And it's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This is causing infighting in the community, and it's not needed. It's absolutely not needed. It's gobbledygook. And I don't control it. And people were like, but Sandman, I thought you were going to use your Facebook account to notify people, blah, blah. I told Jimy Longs, I said, I think it's best we don't tell anybody about this. Just put it on the internet. And if you want to, I said, I suggest you tell my Facebook group. And then I suggest you maybe tell Instagram, or you maybe tell the Discord community. Don't tell the rest of Facebook maybe, and don't tell Reddit. Like, I sound like a jerk. If you're a member of the Reddit community, you probably think I'm a jerk right now. I told Jimy, I said this, and I'll maybe take a screenshot and show it someday. I said, if you want to sell out in 1.5 hours, tell the Reddit community. I said, if you want to sell out in 3 hours, tell Instagram. And I said, if you want to sell out to slow it down. And if you want to sell out in just 5 hours, don't tell anybody at all. But I said, but you're going to sell out in 5 hours. You know what happened? He sold out in 1 hour. He didn't tell anybody. I think he told the people on Discord, and then the people on Discord started posting on Reddit and started posting on Facebook, and it sold out. He was 75% sold out in 30 minutes of 160 pick sets, and then he sold out everything within inside of an hour. I had nothing to do with any of that. I don't know why anybody would think I had anything to do with that. And I didn't know when he was going to release them. I knew that they would release within 24 hours. So I forgot this part. I started monitoring his lockpick set on the 18th. They released on the 19th. I started monitoring the website. And then I wanted to go to bed, and I have a buddy that stays awake all night because he just keeps an awkward schedule. And so I said, hey, can you check in on this website maybe every half hour to every couple hours? And he's like, yeah, sure. So he kept an eye on the site until 8 in the morning. And then from 8 to 10, neither one of us watched it because I was still asleep. I woke up at 10 and I started monitoring the website every 30 minutes. I mowed my lawn because it needed to be mowed, and I stopped twice in the middle of mowing my lawn to check the website if these things were live yet. They weren't even on the website, and you couldn't subscribe to be emailed when they were available. And then I went to the grocery store and I checked my phone twice while I was at the grocery store. Still nothing. I went to the gas station and I checked it once sitting in my truck at the gas station. Nothing. So I finally reached out to Jimmy around 4 o'clock and said, hey man, what the fuck? When are you going to release these? And he said, oh, I'm probably going to do it soon. He's like, I'm just trying to do XYZ. I said, okay. And then he messaged me and he goes, hey man, everything's live on the website. And it was honestly, I think I got a notification on Facebook at the same time. So he didn't tell me before he told anybody else. I was waiting just like everybody else. The difference is I private messaged him and he still didn't tell me before everybody else because he's a businessman like everybody else. Okay. He's not going to give me any favoritism, even though he offered to give me free pick sets for review. I denied it. And I said, no, let me buy them. So where am I going with this? He still sold out in an hour, and it's not my fault. Why people think it would be my fault that he sold out is just amateurish. It's immature, it's amateurish, and I don't appreciate it. It is what it is. I collect just like everybody else. My dog, Daisy, she's barking behind me. She collects. I'm a collector. I need 2 for my reviews. I use these because I'm a competitive lock picker. I go to locksport meetup groups. There's 5 different groups in the state of Texas alone. I pick 1 to 3 hours every single day. I also pick high security locks on my YouTube channel, and I teach people how to pick locks. I need a set that I don't damage I can put aside, and so I can have them for review later. Or just if I bin the ones that I do have, I can be like, well, I guess I'm using my review set, and that's just the way things are. I don't owe anybody an apology for purchasing 3 sets. That's not even the limit. Jimmy told me that there was someone that had purchased 6 lockpick sets individually. Like they put in 1 order, paid for shipping, put in another order, paid for shipping, put in another order. And I was like, that's weird. Why wouldn't they just buy 4? And then he was like, they're probably buying them for their friends as gifts. And that makes sense. A lot of people cannot get to their internet quick enough because they're working, they're traveling, they're with family, they're with friends, they're doing something, and they want to get these tools, but they can't. It's not Jimmy's fault. He's doing his best. Luckily, one thing we have not seen to date is that we're not watching scalpers. We're not watching ticket scalpers, or in this case, lockpick scalpers. That hasn't happened yet. And if you were to hate anybody, I would hate somebody that purchases 4 sets and then pays for shipping, then purchases another 4 sets and pay for shipping, and does that and purchases. I could easily buy 50% of Jimmy's, goods. I could buy 50% of what he has in stock, and then I could sell everything at double that. I could easily sell these for $30 to $40 easily, maybe even $50. People would pay it. But I didn't, and I'm not going to. And I hope that if somebody does do that, I hope we can all ostracize this person from our community. That's the scumbag thing to do. Not to come into my Facebook group and call me a scumbag because I waited for 24 hours for this thing, literally lost sleep over it, and did everything that I could to keep an eye on this thing, and then got in line just like everybody else and paid with my hard-earned money just like everybody else. So if you come to me and tell me I'm a jerk for being a collector, you can stick your tools right up your butt. I don't care. So I'm very happy to have these tools. Let's open them up and let's get our first impressions. First impressions, these are the identical to the 19,000 and 23,000 rounds, just obviously within a 15 thousandths thickness, so very flimsy here, but that's for highly paracentric keyways. The main difference in these version 4 is that he has a hole here on the back, and he does that to show that these are full length or full tang steel shanks. There's two different schools of thought. Right now, the school of thought is that a full length, full tang pick doesn't really matter. It's more of a selling point. You really are going to feel more vibration here on the supporting hand here and in the turning tool. But he's of an older generation of lockpickers where they believe that the full tang would that the vibration and the feedback from picking high security locks would transfer or transmit throughout the full length. So he is showing you that this is a full length or full tang lockpick by having the secondary hole in the back right here. And I believe that it's a 10,000ths of a reveal of tool steel within that hole to show that it is full tang. So good on him, bravo for him for doing that. I think it's great. It's not really most advisable from a manufacturing standpoint because he's producing more steel than is needed, but it's a selling point among lockpickers that want to have full tang steel. So these are not labeled, and so that's with the version 4 that are not labeled. Version 3 are labeled. So the difference between version 4 and version 3 are that these are not labeled with the etch and they have a hole in the back for the reveal. I hope version 5 will have labeling on both sides of the lockpick, at the very least on one side. So these didn't have the hole in the back, the new ones do, because these are not full tang. I should have said that. So these are not full tang. The basics and the intermediate is full tang. These are only 30% tang. So these will go to right about here. The tang is right about there. And it's about 30 to 35, 40%. And then we have the flats in this one. Yep, these look identical as well. So what are these? The flats. So these are flat hooks. We have a low, we have a short, we have a medium, and we have a deep. And same thing for the rounds. We have a low, we have a short, we have a medium, and a deep hook. And so these match identically to the 19 thou. So if I have 23 thou, so I got to bring this up for this to work. So if I have 23 thou back here, and I have 19 thou right here, then that means my 15 thou would go up front somehow. So those are 19 thou, so my 15 thou will go right up front. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a subtle difference between the low and the shallow, but he says he likes using the low. Personally, I don't think I would ever sell a low. I would sell the shallow and the medium and the deep. I would have 3 profiles personally, but you know, this is for the locksport, or this is for the collector that needs and wants everything. These are low, shallow, medium, and deep. There we go. So now my Jimy Longs collection is complete. So I have my basic set right here. And, well, it's actually mixed, but I have basics and intermediates right here. My 15 thou here. I have my 19 thou, my 23 thou, my St. Con set. And then I have my diamonds and gems in 19 and 23 thou. And I have the diamonds and gems here in 19 thou. Those don't go there. I don't know where to put these. You get the idea. We'll figure it out. I'll organize it somehow. So anyways, this is the 3D locksport. Large, I think he's still making these. These are the large lock stands from 3D locksport, specifically designed to be able to hold Jimy Longs as well. So we're doing good. We're doing good. And then if I want to, I can take my basic and intermediate pick set, and I can go ahead and add my 15 thou to my set here, because this is what I would say is a complete pick set. I don't think he'll come out with an advanced pick set. I think he just has the basics, intermediates, and these flats and rounds are considered the advanced tools. And I would say nothing's more advanced than 15 thou. So that makes sense to put these in here like that. Except I can't put everything in here. Dang it. Maybe I don't need the rakes in there, but I do. I would rather have the rounds in here. I like the rounds more than I like the flats, even though I use flats more than I use rounds. But I like Jimy's flats. Decent enough. There we go. 15 thou. I could probably double up some of these. So where are we at with Jimmy's? I like the Jimy Longs picks. I think they're great. They're definitely tier 1, but I can never recommend them because they're always out of stock. So there's no point in having a link to Jimy Longs in the description of any of my videos, and there's no point in doing any type of marketing or advertising for Jimy, because it's like saying you saw a ghost, but you're using a camera from 2001 to verify, to validate what you saw. Isn't that funny? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take out the rakes. Move these over. This would be like a locksport set. I don't know. Figure it out. Definitely made of unobtainium. Oops. There we go. That's the Jimy Longs pick set. I mean, obviously it doesn't hold all those tools, but these are the most used tools. I guess I could throw in some turning tools, but they'd probably fall out. I don't know. We'll see. I'd rather just have them on the side, but this is cool. This is cool. I feel wore out talking about this. I feel like I got angry there for a second. I'm kind of burned out. I like Jimy Longs tools, but they're always sold out, and it's sad to talk about, and it just is what it is. So that's why I recommend other manufacturers that have more momentum behind them. We'll just say that. That's all I have for today. Let me know in the comments down below. Were you lucky enough to get in on those 15,000s, or are we going to blame Sandman for all our problems moving forward into the future? Let me know. And I would love to know what do you hope to see from Jimy Longs in the future. So now that we have the flats and the rounds, 15 thou, 19 thou, 23 thou, I think he's actually going to switch to 18 thou and like 22 thou. I don't know what he's going to do. He's all over the place right now, but at some point we will be able to get we will be able to get regular tools from him. Until then, they're just collector's items. That's all I have for today, folks. Let me know in the comments down below. And remember, I'm not rich, I'm irresponsible, and I'm just a businessman blessed with many friends. And I'll catch you guys next time.
Mr. Sandman, bring us